Good day everyone. This is an instructional video for Capitalism Lab. Capitalism Lab is a business simulator that comprehensively demonstrates the business environment. Personally, this simulator has allowed me to further grasp the concepts of strategic management and planning. So this is what it looks like upon entering the simulator. So on your upper left screen, these are the important toggles or menus in order for you to play the game. So we have the build menu, the buy lot menu, the goal report menu, the HQ, stock market, game menu, options menu, and the game speed. For our financial goals, we have annual revenue, operating profit margin, return on equity, and lifetime shareholder return. The targets are shown on the right-hand side of the slide. And multi-stakeholder goals as well, such as number of employees, unit levels, and manufactured product quality. Also take note that productivity levels actually reflect investment in training and equipment. In terms of ranking, the company must be at least top 5. Given the goals, I will now plot my strategic approach. The first step would be to focus on one city at a time. Second would be to build retail stores whenever economically feasible. Third would be to hire competent managers such as a CTO, a COO, a CMO, and also to have an HR department. Next would be to R&D products, and that would be through the building of an R&D center. Consequently, the next would be to build factories, which would be to produce those research products. Next would be to train and advertise. So for step number 6, it is important to take note that training and advertising should be done concurrently with step number 2 and step number 5. That is, for retailing, make sure that you increase spending for training and advertising even upon building the retail store. However, for factory, only training expenses would be applicable. So therefore, step number 6 is done concurrently with steps number 2 and steps number 5. Alright, so given my strategy, I will now demonstrate how that would happen. So first would be to focus on one city, and next would be to build my retail store. So I'll build a department store and place it somewhere where the CTI index as seen on the upper left is high, because the customer traffic index actually shows the potential amount of customers that would be in that area. So I think 54, CTI index of 54 is fair. So now you could see that the layout is empty. So these are called units. And the units are actually the sections in which the department store is needed to conduct sales. So in short, these are your employee departments. So instead of individually doing it, I'll just use a layout. So I'll use this layout, and then I would link the purchases with other suppliers. So the products that I would get from those suppliers would be products with high overall ratings. So I prefer ratings with over 100. So I guess this will do. So we have the bed, camera, and the sofa as our products. Now I will ramp up training so that our productivity level will increase over time. So given that, the third step would be to hire competent managers. So at early game, it's important that you have an HR department and also a COO. Now, a COO is very important because the COO is in charge of your operations. Now, since I'm a retailer, I will pick someone with high retailing expertise or rating. So in this case, Tonelli has a high retailing rating. So I'll try to invite him into the company. So he's requesting 14.2 million annual salary. So I'll just accept, since I believe that I would be able to cover that salary expense with my revenue. Alright, so what I will do next is that I will assign him to manage this department store. And you would notice that from 1, the productivity increased to 5. So you would notice sales, purchasing increased to 5, while advertising increased to 3. Now it really depends per manager on how good they are on those fields. But for Jack Tonelli, he's really good in retailing. Alright, so I think at this point we can run the time. Now another part of the strategic approach that we will do is actually to build a factory. So this is how you build factories. I prefer to build my factories quite close to the department store in order to save freight costs. So I think I'll just build it right here. And then, as you can see, it's also empty. I suggest that you use the layout because it's faster, and then manufacture the product that you want to. Now we have leather jacket. I think that you could sell it in a department store. Now, this option actually indicates that if you click yes, your factory would be a supplier to other retailers, whether it's you or not, to sell to those retailers. So if you click yes, that exactly what will happen. But if no, then it will most likely be only internal sales. So I'll click yes because I want to maximize my sale. Now I will ramp up training as well in order for my productivity for my factory to increase over time as well. I will also assign Mr. Tonelli to handle my factory. Now we are getting closer. The next step is actually to build an R&D center. So actually, it's either you do R&D center or factory first. It doesn't matter as long as you do it simultaneously. So logically, it should have been R&D first, but I think I wanted to emphasize that factory building is similar to retailing. That's why I placed it first. But in terms of chronological order, it's fine as you do it simultaneously. So here I will also use a factory layout, a predetermined layout. And so I will try to research a product. So it's better if you research the product that you are manufacturing, because when you do that, your quality, your product quality, your manufactured product quality would actually increase. So take note that quality is made up of technology and raw materials quality. So this is one way to increase your product quality. So I think we were manufacturing jackets, right? Leather jackets. Okay. So I'll click OK, and then you could choose the duration of R&D. I think I'll just pick 1 year so that it will be incrementally increasing over the years, so it will be much more flexible. And also ramp up training. So actually that's it. There's another step which is actually to do training and advertising. So we have been doing training. Training is actually increasing this portion, right? So I've increased that. And advertising. So how do we do advertising? So you just click on your firm that has an advertising unit, and then make sure it's linked to sales so that it will work. All right. So and then click media, link media, and then choose. Well, it's really up to your preference, but it's logically better to choose the advertising media with the highest rating points, so it gets more coverage. Now you could adjust your monthly spending per product. And I guess that's enough. Since I have my own manager, the manager will be in charge of the advertising as well. So I'll just leave it at that. So I guess that's actually how my strategy would work. So once I have enough stores here, once I have dominated the market here, I will transfer to another city. It just repeats over and over again until you dominate the market for the particular city. Now, it's important that you also take note of the rankings. The rankings would be shown here under corporate details, and our goal is to reach annual revenue, net profit, number of employees, and ROE at a minimum of 5th place. So assuming that we have tried that strategic approach, which I have discussed a while ago, we should be able to reach our current results. So you could notice that we actually achieved all our goals for this portion. Also, for our manufactured product, we have a minimum of 70 for bath lotion. At the end of the game, I have 1 headquarters, 43 retail stores, 15 factories, 2 R&D centers. Now, my corporation is present in 3 out of 4 cities, which is Stuttgart, Boston, Beijing. However, for Zurich, I did not proceed to invest in this city because the competition is actually quite intense. And let us check our productivity level. So for drugstore, that's really good. So our goal is actually 7, but we have 9. Let us check on another store. Those are 9s. That's really good. Okay. Also, we have a CEO, a CMO, a COO, and a CTO. So I think the strategy worked, and we have achieved our goals. And that is really good. Let us check our ranking. Go to corporate details and then ranking. So we are first in operating profit, first in revenue, third in number of employees, second in return on equity. So I think we have achieved our rankings. And I think at this point you could stop the simulation because you have completed the goals. So I guess one of the learnings is actually to stick to your strategic approach, because it is the way to evaluate your strategy execution. It is the basis upon which you will run your company. Second would be to learn to adjust and make sure that any strategy which are not working should not be implemented anymore. And lastly would be to remember the cause and effect relationship. So if you remember the cause and effect relationship, always remember that at the early part of the game, every action will matter. So I guess it's teaching us to be more precise if we take heed to that advice. So I guess that's it, and I hope that you really try this simulator out because it will help you grasp the concepts of strategic management. And it really helped me during my undergrad while I was taking strategic management. I think that's it, and have a great day ahead, everyone. Thank you for watching.